going on, everybody? Welcome to the RBS Cinema Podcast.
I know Kung Fu.
Show me.
This is Sparta! I'm thinking I'm back.
Why so serious?
Avengers!
Assemble. I'm Batman.
You better lawyer up, asshole. Because I'm not coming back for 30%. I'm coming back for everything.
I'll be back.
You shall not pass!
RBS.
Lovely.
Welcome, everybody, to a brand new episode of RBS Cinema. This week's episode, we are talking about Ready or Not. Not Here I Come.
Yeah, no.
Because that was on the docket to talk about, because the sequel is actually going to be coming out the following Tuesday after this episode actually comes out. So I will probably do, I'll probably do my own mini review. I've been thinking about doing mini reviews on the podcast.
Okay.
So just
like in shorts.
Yeah. Just doing like a short little video of going like, hey, this is what I thought about the movie.
I would love to see you try, Devin. I really would.
I've done it. I've done it before on my own TikTok channel.
I would really love to see you try to condense your thoughts down into less than 60-second short.
Well, it'll probably be like, a couple minutes, but it won't be like a specific minute. But
do it in a Vine.
do it 60 seconds. Do it in 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Hey, so I thought the movie was good. Thanks. See you next week. So, but anyhow, I'm your host, Devin. With me, as always, co-host Jack.
I'm still Jack.
Unfortunately, Lou is not here because he said he was going to be here. I got clear confirmation on not just once, but twice. And he still didn't show up. So, Excuse me while I scream into the screaming pillow. Okay.
Okay, sure.
I'm back. Ooh, okay.
Let the record show that Devin put a pillow close to his mouth and then screamed into it for all of our audio listeners.
Yes, and with that being said, thank you everybody so much for checking us out. We really appreciate you being here, whether that be on video, on YouTube, or on audio on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Check us out on there as well. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, like, share, and do all that good stuff.
I want you to tell all your friends about me.
And let us know if you guys thought that Ready or Not was a good movie or not. So, because I wanted to originally talk about the second one because, one, I've already seen this, and two, wanted to watch the sequel. I was going to watch it last night, but then I got up early to go to the gym this morning, and I was just like, yeah, I should probably actually go to bed around 11 o'clock. So
yeah, because Devin pitched me Ready or Not 2, and I told him, like, well, I haven't seen Ready or Not 1. And he was like, what does it matter? Like,
I go, like, just watch the first one and then watch the second one.
But then I said to him, like, that it would probably be better for us to talk about the first one so that people don't have to watch the movie,
first one.
So if they want to go straight into the second one, and that'll help boost viewership.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
So we're talking about Ready or Not 1 this time around, which is a 2019 joint.
Yeah, it's around an hour and a half, so it's about a 90-minute banger.
I'm gratefully.
Yeah, this is the second movie in a row that we've talked about that it's like pretty much like a 90-minute banger.
Yeah.
So I was excited about that because not the fact that, I'm tired of watching 2-hour-long movies or 2.5-hour-long movies. I don't care, but if it's been like a long week, and I'm just like, God, like I gotta watch this movie now. I gotta plan to watch this movie, and I know the dying struggles of being on a movie podcast of talking about movies, but it's the thing where you just go like, okay, I have all of this bunch of stuff that I need to do before I watch the movie. And I have to plan out to see when it gets done so that way I can go to bed, because then I have to get up for the next day to do whatever. Either, in most cases, for me, it's Friday night. I'm going to watch this movie so that way it stays fresh in my head the next day while I take my notes to also refresh my memory about what happens or specific things that I want to talk about. But then it's all like, okay, I have plenty of time, so I'm going to watch it like the weekend, like that we record the podcast and stuff. So it's all that flip-flopping, because then I also have to edit the podcast, and I usually don't do that on the weekends because I'm lazy and I'm tired and I just don't want to do it. So then I extend that to being a whole week-long project of working out to being like half an hour each time.
Yeah. It was a little, again, it was a little weird because we are recording this podcast finally again on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Because the last episode that we did record on a Thursday because Devin actually helped me move into my new apartment.
That's what it said, like, me move.
Yeah, he helped me move in my new apartment last Saturday, which was raining and disgusting and gross.
Yeah, well, at least it lined up by the time we got done in the afternoon.
It was finally nice after we were all finished. So
yeah.
So I didn't really have a little time to like. I watched this at like a weird time. I think I watched this either on Monday or Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. It's not as fresh in my mind, but I get what you mean because like. When you have like a busy schedule and you have a lot of things going on, the things that needs doing, it's hard to like squeeze like a 2-hour long video into your like time during the day.
Yeah.
So I was grateful this was only half an hour and a half long.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I usually eat these movies around like when I'm eating dinner. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's for sure. It definitely makes a difference to being like, okay, I got to watch an hour and a half movie. Oh, okay, I can knock that out. Versus, oh man, I really got to sit down and watch an over 2 hour or 2.5 hour long movie. Because I was going to watch this one movie, but it was going to be like close to 3 hours. I was just like, fuck that. I don't have time right now to watch this in the middle of the week. So I was just like, I'm not doing that.
Here's my philosophy. If you know that a movie has a long run time, it's just, like you know that like as a new release, go watch it in the theaters.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because when you're in a theater and you're in a movie theater,
you're locked in.
You're in the experience. You can't just like get up and leave unless the movie like sucks.
Well, you can get up and leave, but you wasted the time, the money, and everything else to go there. So
I wouldn't want to get up just because I don't want to like get in other people's way.
Well, yeah.
Because I hate that.
Yeah.
Like
I also hate when people are doing stuff in the theater because it distracts you and stuff. Which, speaking of, let's move on to watch list because this is a perfect segue into me talking about my watch list.
Yeah, I want you to go first because I honestly can't remember like all the things that I watched.
And that's why I write mine down.
So. Listen, I usually remember.
Yeah.
But it's been a long week, okay?
So I did like back-to-back horror movie bangers of couple stuff. Mm-hmm. So the first one is, speaking of movie theaters, I watched Obsession last weekend.
I'm hearing a lot of things
Grace.
about that.
So it was really good. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. Grace, not so much. She didn't really like it that much, even though she is like kind of a horror fan, but this isn't her type of horror. She likes more like demon possession or stuff like that. So, or kind of just like, like fucked up wacky shit happens. Like she doesn't like torture.
Yeah.
But she doesn't mind the Saw movies because it is self-inflicted torture. That's the difference.
I can't handle any sort of torture at all.
Yeah. And so even like, in an action movie, for instance, she doesn't like when there's like a torture scene that happens just because it is not self-inflicting. It's being against their will that they're being harmed.
Yeah.
So, but she's been having nightmares with this movie because I don't know if we talked about this on or off air last week, but Grace sleeps in this room that we're recording in.
Yeah, we talked about
it's the second bedroom. Well, yeah, I know, but I'm saying I don't know if we talked about it on or off the air. Because I know that we were recording, but I don't know if I had that in the episode or not.
Oh yeah, I get what you mean now.
So she's been having to sleep by herself in this bedroom in my entertainment room because she's been having back and hip complications before. And it's just not an all-around great time to where she had to go to PT and then trying to get all this stuff. She's fine now, but this bed that we have in here suits her a lot better than the one that was in our bedroom.
Right.
Because it's not a memory foam mattress. It's kind of like a mattress that you basically just sink into. And she goes like, oh, I really miss snuggling with you. So I think at some point, I can't remember if it was in the middle of the night, but it wasn't like when I went to bed. So I think it was like in the middle of the night she came over to the other bedroom and so like we snuggled and stuff like that. And everything, and then she goes like, yeah, I can't do that again because I kind of like fucked up my back again. Not as drastic, but to a certain extent. I was like, oh, okay, so now we gotta like think about actually planning to do this. But yeah, I went and saw Obsession, and I thought it was great. It was awesome.
Yeah, it's an indie film, right? It was like one guy that made it, right?
There wasn't a whole lot of cast. It is kind of like an indie film because like I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about like, I don't know if this is true or not, so do your own research, but they were talking about how this is his first movie that he directed.
Yeah.
That got streamlined. So the first thing that he ever did is a YouTube video, like movie type thing that he did for like $800. And it's called Serial Killer, but it's, oh no, it's not Serial Killer. It's like Serial something. And it's spelled like, you know, like a serial killer.
Right.
But, you know, I don't remember what it was called specifically, but it was Serial something. I don't remember. But yeah, so like to go from that to doing this is great.
Yeah.
So
was this the guy that got like doxxed by the New York Post?
I have
or
no
something
idea.
like that. I heard a story recently that like there was some movie like that just got released where the producers or the director or somebody got doxxed by the New York Post because it was getting too popular or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to look this up real quick. Keep talking about about Obsession though, because I've heard that the one thing that I have heard about is that like it's doing really really well at the box office.
Yeah. Dude, it's outshining.
It's making Hollywood look bad, basically.
Yeah, it's outshining The Backrooms.
Back in the day, before the backrooms were a thing, okay? Jingle, jingle, pay attention, I said your favorite word, the backrooms, okay? The backrooms, dingle, dangle, dingle, dangle.
By A24. So, and I can understand, but, you know, I don't understand the flack between The Backrooms.
Jingle, jingle, pay attention, I said your favorite word, the backrooms.
Because I just don't know if people know what the backrooms actually are.
You know offices? You love offices. You love endless offices?
Or what it is.
Oh, that's what it was. They doxed the director of Backrooms.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Yes, okay. I
So
misremembered.
it's a
Sorry.
good thing that I'm talking about the Backrooms now because I did not watch that. Let me clarify. But I do have an inkling to actually go and watch it. But I don't understand the hate or the discourse between the Backrooms.
I said your favorite word, the backrooms, okay? The backrooms, dingle, dangle, dingle, dangle.
Because of the fact that, I just don't understand if people don't get it or people don't know what the Backrooms actually are, where they came from or whatever. Because I know that at this point it's a meme, right? But it started out as an indie title, like an indie video game. Kind of like the Iron Lung from Markiplier.
Yeah, it's just like a dumb like thing that somebody like.
It's like, oh, let's make a horror game to where like there's an endless hallway that you can go around.
Let's
run
prey
around.
on people's fears of liminal spaces. That was basically the concept.
Yeah.
You know offices? You love offices. You love endless offices?
And so like that's what they decided to do a movie for. But going back onto Obsession, besides me saying like, oh, it's a great movie. For those of you that don't know what the movie is about, it is about like this guy who really likes this girl and he decides to get her a gift. I think because it's not because of her birthday. I was going to say because of her birthday. But it's not that. So he decides to get her a gift and it's a one-wish willow. And it's like an old 80s like toy type thing to where you get one wish. So open it up. You say, hey, I wish for $1 million. So you break the stick and, you know, like whether or not it comes true is, oh, yeah, whatever. So he wishes that like, oh, I wish that Nikki would love me more than anybody else in the world. Snaps the stick. And then all of a sudden, that's where the obsession comes into play.
Oh my God.
Is from that get-go of him in his car. And so she goes like, hey, like, what are you doing right now? And like, hey, you should come inside. And then he goes like, I don't want to do that. Because originally she goes like, oh yeah, no, that's completely fine. I totally understand. And then
Is that where the clip goes like, roll down the window? What? Roll
Yeah.
down the window. Why? Because I want to talk to you.
yeah. And then
Oh,
all
I
of a
didn't
sudden
realize that was.
yeah, and then all of a sudden she goes like, "Oh, like sorry, I'm just being really weird right now." And he goes like, "Yeah, you're kind of freaking me out." And like there was times in the movie theater with everybody else that like it was just awkward laughter. Go like, "Ha ha ha ha, yeah, it was kind of funny actually." But this is by definition what the fuck the movie, because throughout the whole course of the movie you just sit there and you're watching this, you just go like, what the fuck? It's not like that super outlandish things happen and people explode or anything like that. It's just very uncomfortable, especially with the dialogue mostly. It's mostly the dialogue that you just sit there, you go like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So it's all that much stuff. I will say, be wary of your cats. That's all I got to say.
Okay.
With your girlfriends or wives around your cats. That's all I got to say. That's why I will leave that. Next up on my watch list, I have Keeper. This is from Osgood Perkins. And if you don't know who that is, if you remember the hype that was going around for the monkey, it's another horror movie. Long Legs?
No.
No? Oh my gosh.
No.
Okay, so he made all three of these movies. And I bought the triple feature pack on digital. And I have Long Legs on 4K Steelbook. It's not on digital or anything. It doesn't come with any bonus stuff. It's just the 4K disc. And I was just like, you know what? I really, I never watched Long Legs before, but I was like, you know what? I believe the hype behind it. So you know what? I'm going to buy it on Steelbook and I'm going to watch it and I'll see what it is. It was really good, actually. I feel like that one is like the best out of all three of the movies that he's come out with so far, because then The Monkey, which if I remember correctly is still streaming on Hulu. I remember that I watched it on Hulu. I thought it was okay. Like it's kind of like a dark comedy horror movie. So, but Keeper is a twisted horror movie.
Yep.
But it's a really slow burn. The visuals are great in this movie. But other than that, it's just a really slow burn, like really slow. And even when I looked it up onto IMDb, go like, who's all in this? It's another small, tight cast. And it's the thing where I was reading up on it and it said like, oh yeah, a lot of audience members just said that like it's a really slow burn and not a lot of people like enjoyed it because of that reason. But I did think that leading up towards the end of it, because I won't spoil it, but leading up to the end of it, you're just like, okay, no, this all makes sense. It's all coming together. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I thought it was really good. Again, just a really slow burn. The visuals were really great. Osgood Perkins, like I would see the trailer and everybody like big horror directors like James Wan or the guy that did The Terrifier, Damien Leon's Terrifier. He like they all like praised it. They're like, oh, he knows how to do horror. But it's just the fact of you're just taking a really long time to get there, buddy.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna say like, oh, like every corner, you know, you have a jump scare or anything like that. Like that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying like, can you do stuff in between when things happen? Mm-hmm. Like it's just really like not tight shots, but they have shots to where it's just overextending of a stream that's in this like by the house, and it's just like, why do I care about the stream? What is the significance for it? But
kind of reminds me of like Vince Gilligan's style of directing,
right?
A little bit of like of cinematography.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was it on my watch list. I had one more, but I'm not going to talk about it because it doesn't matter. So
okay, I got just two, pretty sure. So I rewatched The Bride again. Because I wanted Annie and I wanted to see it, or Annie said that she wanted to watch it, and sure enough, as always happens to me, whenever I like see that there's a movie that like just came out and I need to like rent it, a week later it shows up on HBO Max on YouTube TV and it says, "Oh, you can watch it for free," and it's like that. So we watched it again, and I still like it. After the second watch, I still really like the movie.
Good.
And Annie said that she really liked it too, so we watched that, and then. I watched Monster House.
Oh, did you? Because we were talking about that last week.
Monster House frightens me to this day.
Does it really?
Yes.
Oh, man. I need to actually watch it.
Watching it as an adult is such an experience because you get
actually
to see,
understand a lot more now as you're
Not
an adult. Not
necessarily that, but like back in 2006, the fact that everything was like mocapped, all the like the animations of the people were all mocapped. Like that was pretty crazy for something that like came out when I was 8 years old, you know?
Right.
So, but the situations that happen in like the what am I trying to say? Oh, well, you watch like Mr. Nevercracker, the old man who lives inside the house.
Yeah.
And you watch it again after remembering what it was like. Like the thing about the movie that scares me the most is because I watched it on Halloween.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
because it was always around the time like on Cartoon
Yeah,
Network
so-
and like
and-
a bunch of other like horror type, like horror, quote unquote, horror scary movies on Cartoon Network and stuff.
Like my parents would go to some other like like friends' parents' house to be able to give out candy, and I was too old to go to like trick or treating anymore. So I
So you
stayed
just
home
sat there and watched TV.
And I watched Monster House in the living room, completely in the dark,
Yeah.
because I didn't want.
It's such a different vibe when
had
it's in
to
the
turn
dark
off
too.
I had to turn off all the lights because I didn't want anybody to come by the house and think that we were selling candy.
Yeah, yeah.
Selling candy. We were giving out
Giving
candy.
out candy.
Yeah. So.
Hey kid, I'll give you this Reese's bar for like $2.
But like that movie, I'm convinced like that movie was the it
Yeah.
of like children's horror. Like that's a scary movie for a kid to watch. Like
Yeah, yeah.
like watching like it and like it part 2.
Yeah.
Like a year and a half ago, I'm pretty sure it was, where I finally watched it again, and then going back to watching Monster House, I can still remember how I felt as a kid watching Monster House and how scared and creepy it all was, and like they knew how to make the house look terrifying.
Right.
Like the amount of polygons that had to go into like modeling and texturing all the teeth and the stuff that like adjusts the house to make it look like a face
Yeah.
was like it's a masterpiece. It really is. It's like a hidden gem, I feel like, in terms of movies that are it's a PG movie, right? But it still has some scary weight to it, I would say. So
Yeah.
I didn't realize until I like watched it again as an adult, like, wow, this still hits a
Yeah.
little bit. So anyway, that's my watch list. I only watched a couple things.
Cool. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about. I was going to say The Bride. Technically, it does have The Bride.
Yeah, I mean,
but
there is
it's
a
not,
bride in
it's
it.
Not. It's not The Bride, the movie. So, ready or not? So here we go. And before we talk about specific things that we enjoyed about the movie or whatever, so we'll talk about what the movie is specifically about, so that way everybody is on the same page, and as well as writer, director, stars, all that boring stuff. Get that out of the way, and then we'll move on to what we actually want to discuss. So, movie is about a bride's wedding night takes a sinister turn when her eccentric new in-laws force her to take part in a terrifying game. Jack, do you agree with that?
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happens.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
yeah.
and you got director, plural, Matt Bettinelli Olpin and Tyler Gillett. Sorry, all of those all those letters were tied together. I was just like, and then got writers Guy Busick and R. Christopher Murphy.
So 2 directors, 2 writers.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah. Also, not the same people doing it.
Yeah. So you have 4 different people trying to figure out what to make this movie.
Right.
And
I'm curious now to see if they did the
spoiler
second
alert,
one.
it shows.
Yeah.
It definitely shows.
Yeah. Second one is a little bit longer than the first one. It's closer to 2 hours, but it's not exactly an hour and 50. So it's a few minutes shy of that. But I wanted to see if they all came back for the second one. Let me just take a look here. Yeah, so they did come back for the second one.
Oh, you mean directors and writers?
Yeah. The both directors and both writers came back to do the second one.
Well, yeah.
Well, sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes, they don't get the same writers or they don't get the same directors.
I guess, but like it's also like it's only been like 7 years since the last movie.
Well, yeah.
So,
and I feel like that they couldn't do it because this came out in 2019, but I feel like that they couldn't do it because, a worldwide pandemic happened shortly after this movie came out. But
no, because like it came out. If it came out in early 2019, then it would have been not filmed during the pandemic.
No, that's what I'm saying. They couldn't do the sequel because they didn't want the pandemic to ruin everything. That's what I'm saying.
Like anything before 2020 is just a blur to me at this point. Like 2018, 2019. And like 2018, 2019, I don't remember what happened in them, to be honest.
Right.
2017 to an extent as well.
Yeah.
2016, there was a lot that happened in there. So like,
100%.
Like, how can you forget about the year that Harambe died? I mean,
right. Exactly. That's why I always consider Donkey Kong to be Harambe. I'm like, play Mario Party or Mario Kart. I'm like, I'm picking Harambe. Everybody just looks at me and goes like, what? I'm like,
okay.
The gorilla. Who else is fucking Harambe? Like, the fuck? Okay. So, but moving on to cast here. Not a whole lot of people here because it's only just the main family and a few of the housemaids and stuff. So we got Samara Weaving, who is not related to Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, Sigourney Weaver. Yeah, different last name.
So I don't know why last night when I was doing research on this, I thought it said Samara Weaver, but it's Weaving. No. So, and then we got Adam Brody, who plays as the older brother Daniel, Alex O'Brien, who plays as the younger brother Alex, and Henry Zerny is Tony, who's their dad. Andy McDowell is their mom, Becky. Melanie Scrofano is their sister, Emily. And her husband, Christian Brune, is Fitch, who is probably arguably my favorite character in this whole movie.
Yeah.
And got Elise Leveska is Charity, who is Daniel's wife. And got Nikki Gordani is Aunt Helene, or Helen. I think it's Helen, but it's spelt out Helene.
I don't know.
So, and then last up we got John Ralston, who plays as Stevens, who is the caretaker. So, who is the main butler dude. And then got a few taglines here. First up is "The game begins."
Yeah.
So, a lot of gaming puns because it's ready or not, so it's a game. A killer game of hide and seek.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly what it is.
They're coming. Who's coming? Huh? If you're coming right now, let me see it.
Who's coming? Huh? If you're coming right now, let me see it. Let me see it. Show me. Huh? He who is coming. You better get out here. You better come out here. Come where I am.
Love that Beaver
Markiplier. That one.
If you're coming right now, let me see it.
Hey yo.
In-laws. I think this one's probably my favorite. In-laws can be murder. So, honestly, luckily my in-laws are not murder, because I know that a lot of people have discourse with their in-laws. They're just like, oh, like they don't like me because I'm me, or because I married their little girl, or like their hunky husband. Hunky husband. I don't know. My brain shut off for a second. It just started blurring out. Yeah, their handsome son.
Yeah.
Because it's weird, right? Because it's all like guys look for girls that are similar to their moms, and women go after guys that are similar to their dads. In most cases, not all the time, but I'm just saying as a clear conscience of going like,
it's a weird thing to think about.
Well, that's just how it is, honestly. But like obviously, like who you like, it doesn't matter.
To Oedipus complex here.
Yeah. So anyhow, let's go ahead and talk about this movie more in depth. I do like Fitch. He's probably my favorite character.
Yeah.
So, which we'll just like talk about all the wacky things that he goes across. So he's not he's married into the family.
Yeah.
Right? Because like him and Charity are the ones that are married into the family. Everybody else is actually like related. Besides Grace, who is the new addition to the family. So little context of what happens in the beginning part of the movie is that when there's a new addition to the family, they have the wedding at the house and everything like that. Like the family's just super rich and everything.
Yeah.
And stuff. So, makes sense. but they have this ritual to where, I don't remember his name, the ghost guy that they
Mr.
like,
LaBelle.
yeah,
I believe.
Mr. LaBelle, like their family made a deal with Mr. LaBelle, and basically it's just like, oh, like that's how we got our wealth in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the whole shtick.
The whole thing, like their family makes board games.
Yeah, their family makes
I
board
guess,
games.
and they-
Like it was their Tony's great grandfather that started up a business of like card games.
Yeah.
And then his grandfather started moving that over to board games and other types.
Yeah.
And now they're like the biggest like gaming family to ever like produce games. And like I believe while they're all sitting around each other in the hall, like in the board game room or whatever, like the music room, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And which Grace just goes like, oh, that's a fucking like normal room to have in a house, like it's a music room. And so like he goes on to this whole tangent of this whole thing, and he goes like, and now we own like 5 different like sports teams and stuff.
I was
So-
that kind of got a chuckle out of me. Like, can you care to elaborate?
right.
What are the teams you own?
Yeah, it's all like for what divisions, what
Like-
leagues, like
Yeah, like basketball, baseball, football.
right, and what teams. So because
No.
like there's also different criteria of teams too. It's just like, oh, like you got the major leagues for all the sports. You've
Yeah.
also got like the college series of sports. So like you've got all this bunch of stuff.
Bottom line
So-
is that they say a bunch of random shit and then they don't really elaborate too much on it.
Yeah. Because like he just gives this whole backstory about like, hey, like our family for generations has always been into games.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why that whenever we have a new edition, we have them play a game as their first night of being a part of the family.
And let's make it clear right now.
And my biggest thing is like, you don't have Mario Kart, you don't have Shoots and Ladders, you don't have Monopoly. What is this?
you don't have Jackbox.
Right, Jackbox games.
Jackbox. What's like? We should make it clear that like, they do not like her, the main character.
No, not at all. Like none of them like her.
Yeah.
And like that's like streamlined throughout the course of the whole movie. I think the only one that did like her was the mom. That's the only character that did was the mom.
Yeah, but dad
And-
hates her. The great aunt hates her.
Well, yeah, the great aunt hates her. Like, well, no, it's just the aunt because it's his sister. It's the dad's sister. So it'd just be like their aunt. But yeah, like I don't know why everybody just did not like her.
Well, they no, there is a reason why. Is because they believe that she's taking away their like second born son, basically.
Right. And like, he's always been a sensitive little boy, that one. So
Because the movie opens with like it's the two brothers, Daniel and Alex, as children, right? And
something's happening. We don't know what it is. And
there's
then like
a guy
a
running
guy,
through the house.
yeah, and he goes like, "Help me! You've got to help me!" And then they say, "Hey, he's in here," and because who was it? It wasn't Alex. Alex hid in the cupboard because Daniel
Yeah.
is the older brother, and he had him hide
So you wouldn't see
in the wardrobe.
the guy get like shot. And killed,
Yeah, because
basically.
like he was getting shot with arrows, and later on it turns out that it was actually Aunt Helen.
Yeah.
It was her wedding day, and it was her husband that they did, and that was the last time that they had to play hide and seek.
Yeah.
So-
Which the mechanics of this are not well explained and very, very confusing. Because like
No.
basically the way they decide what game to play is they have a little box that you place a blank card into.
Yeah.
And then you shake it up around or something like
Well,
that.
you don't shake it around. You just wait for it to spin, and then it's going to kick out the card, and then you see what it is.
So a bunch of
And like even with Fitch, he said that he got Old Maid,
yeah.
and he goes like, whatever the fuck that is.
And someone got
Which-
chess or checkers.
yeah, it was
and, like,
Charity got chess, I believe.
Yeah.
So, and like I think, and that's the whole thing, right? It's just like, are all of the games like hide and seek to where it's just like, oh, we gotta hunt you down?
Yeah, that's
So,
the thing that
like,
really annoyed me. Is like they don't.
because I don't, and like even later on when Alex actually like tries to talk with Grace about like the whole thing of going like, I didn't know you were going to get this card because we've never played this before. And like when we did, it was when I was a kid, and I barely even remember that. And like it was the thing of going like, okay, and then, like, you know, they're having this heart to heart conversation of going like, you would have left me if I would have told you about this, and you would have left me if I didn't actually marry you, or if I didn't propose. So it's just like, well, yeah. So like that's kind of the thing, and
Alex,
now she kind of regrets actually being married into the family. So
Alex fucking sucks. I don't like.
Yeah,
Alex.
because
it's just a. Like, if you knew this was a possibility, why did you still go through? Because I love you. And it's like,
right. It's like, well, because
you love me, then you wouldn't have put me in the situation.
Right. If you love something, set it free. Duh. But it was the thing to where, like, this is the second time that they've played this game of hide and seek.
As for, like, in their generation, basically.
Yeah.
But like, again, it's not explained. Like, are all the games like this? Are they all to the death?
Right. Or are they just the generic games like chess or backgammon?
She just got really bad luck.
Right.
And like of course that she got the one game where they have to kill her. Like,
right.
But like, it would be a little bit more interesting if all of the games were like that.
Yeah,
know?
I think it would have been really interesting.
But
I really think that it would have made maybe like a short series or something like that, to where like they had a backstory behind Ready or Not. So, but like, I feel like that would have been interesting to see what the whole concept of it would have been.
Like, if she had gotten chess, would she have just like, if she lost, they annulled the marriage or something like that?
No,
like,
it would have ended up like the Harry Potter chessboard.
Oh yeah,
where they're on the chess pieces. And it's like knight to b4, and so then they got to move shit around.
Yeah, I just found it extremely stupid that they didn't elaborate whether or not
that they had to go with
was the
fucked up
only
shit.
one that like ended in like a sacrifice. Oh, but Satan's real, by the way.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Satan is real.
Here's the thing. Okay, and I'm glad that you brought this back up, because again, I wanted to talk about Fitch. So when they do get ready to play hide and seek, okay, like Tony tells her like, oh yeah, like we're gonna count to 100, you run and hide, you can't leave the house, all this bunch of stuff.
It's like, how do I know when I win? And it's like, oh, if you make
it till dawn, you win.
Yeah,
basically. She goes, okay, and so she runs and so she hides, whatever, and then they play that old like music.
Yeah.
And like the creepy music on the
phonograph.
Yeah, the phonograph. So I'm like, Jesus, really? This is kind of creepy. But it sets the tone, right? And they're all gearing up. So they're all getting weapons and stuff. And Fitch gets the crossbow. And he goes like, what the fuck? How do I use this thing? And then later on, like every so often, we periodically peer into Fitch, what he's going through.
He's watching a
YouTube video of going like, getting to know your crossbow. Rule number 1, don't point it at yourself.
Richard Babbitt, I'm Joe Early, and today's segment is called Getting to Know Your Crossbow.
Yeah.
So, and later on, they also show him still in the bathroom watching the video and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I think that she falls out of the second story window out onto the grass, and so he's still sitting there watching it and everything. The other thing too was that it's not Google, but he's like looking up like what was it? It was like something about like Satan. What was it? God, I think I might have written it down. Pacts with the devil, real or bullshit. And then he's about ready to like hit the hourglass, not the hourglass, but like the magnifying glass, the search bar. And then his friend chimes in and he just goes like, "What up, dog?" And he goes like, "Oh, not much, dude."
Just hanging with the in-laws.
Yeah, just hanging with the in-laws. He goes like, "Oh man, that shit." He goes like, "Yeah, it's a bunch of bullshit." And whatever. But the other thing too is that like he's like the realest out of all of them. Him and his wife, Emily. Like, she's doing coke the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, especially when she, like, walks in. She's got a little bit of coke under her nose and everything. So.
And Charity's just a psychopath.
Yeah,
right?
because, like, you know, she's the other one that got married into the family.
And she's like, you're into more of this than I am.
Because,
Charlie's just a drunk.
Well, Daniel, like, Daniel is the drunk.
Why did I say Charlie? Sorry. Daniel is just a drunk.
Yeah, because he goes, like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. This is fucked up, whatever. And so he's just getting drunk the whole time. And, you know, he like she's hiding, like Grace is hiding. He walks into the study room, and he goes like, "Hey, I'm not gonna out you right now. I just came in here to get a drink."
Yeah.
And he goes like, "I actually think you're all right. Like you're actually a good person or whatever."
Well, she did say that he was hitting on her.
Yeah, and so he goes like, "But I'm not gonna kill you, but I do have to tell them where you are." Yeah, and so she goes like, "No, you don't have to do that. Like you're actually a good person. Like I believe that you're a good person." He goes like, "Well, I'll give you a 10-second head start."
Yeah.
And so, like after the 10 seconds, whatever. Because I love the fact that he's counting. He's like 1,000, 2, 1,000. He goes like 2.5, 1,000. He's giving her more time because he actually goes like, I believe this is bullshit. You should just do this.
Yeah.
And so he calls for the family to come into the study.
She's in the study.
And so Charity comes in and, takes the drink out of his hand, and she just goes like, he goes like, "Yeah, like when it was something like this with your board game, you didn't even bat an eye about it." And she goes like, "Yeah, because you know where the fuck I came from. I'm nothing without this."
Yeah.
Like being like she's become power hungry, or
she
power hungry and like money hungry and
she
stuff.
just wants to kill poor people, basically.
Yeah, that's what it is. Because once you become like, once you're rich and then you become poor, your whole dynamic shifts of how you think and process things.
It's supposed to be like super hyperbolic, like
the rich are fucked up people.
Yeah.
And it's all like they can literally get away with whatever.
That's what kind of like bothered me about this film a lot more, is that the funny parts are pretty funny, but it's like tonal warfare.
Yeah.
Almost. Because
that's the reason why that it's kind of like a dark comedy at times.
But I really don't feel like it's a dark comedy. I feel like it's like there's points where it's trying to be an actual horror film.
Yeah.
And then it's like you have another scene where all the family's standing around arguing in one of the rooms and they're holding weapons and stuff like that, where it plays out like a scene from The Office.
Right.
Yeah. Like it's these two, I think like it makes sense because like I said, there's two directors and there's two writers.
Right. So in a way, because I know that sometimes this happens too, like when you have two directors, two writers, and they're not the same of, like, oh, like writer-director combo, like that type of thing, where you could have both of them just sitting there going like, well, why don't we do this? Nah, I feel like we should do this instead.
Yeah, but
so they're always, and I'm not going to say like, they always butt heads or anything like that, but it's the thing of going like, hey, I have this idea. Okay, like that's a really great idea. So if you have two yes men, of going like, hey, like we should do this. Okay, yeah, that sounds fine. And you're like vice versa. Or it's all like, hey, I think we should do this. Nah, I think we should skip on that. Like, that doesn't actually, whatever. Like
the script of the movie is fine, right? I'm not going to say it like ruins the movie for it, but it's super noticeable sometimes where you have this really cinematic shot of Grace going down the dark hallway in the house, like, and it's filmed and shot like a slasher film,
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it kind of like changes the tone a little bit, like like in the very next scene.
Like, because it's the thing where they kill the first maid, right?
Yeah.
And I think I know where you're going with this. Like they kill the first maid, because Emily thinks that it was Grace. And so she goes like, oh my God, like I kind of fucked up. And then they're all like, what was Daniel? He comes in and he goes like, does it look like she's wearing a fucking white dress? Like you're a fucking idiot. And then like, I love the fact that whenever somebody dies, they have to like Tony flips a coin for it and he just goes like heads or tails.
Yeah.
And then that way, like depends on which side of the body that you grab to carry them away. So both of them are carrying the maid away, and no, it was later on when they're carrying Alex, because they knock him out and then they carry him away, and because like I remember that Aunt Helen is helping Tony carry the body for the maid,
So that was a fucking lie.
and so she walks out of a room and they're carrying Alex away. And so they're like, oh, she could be anywhere in this house. Like this house is so big. And then all of a sudden she walks out into the hallway, and then Daniel just goes like, found her.
Oh, any sign of her?
No, she could be anywhere.
Found her.
And then so Emily's right behind her, and so she screams, starts shooting around, and then Grace runs past her. So, but yeah, it's like that whole thing of going like, oh, like she's going down a long corridor where it's super dark, so you can't really tell what the fuck is happening.
Like it can't, like there are some times where it's like trying really hard to be scary and atmospheric.
Yeah.
Again, but then like...
But then it's always that thing of going like, oh, could be anywhere in this house. She walks out and
So,
go like, oh, found her.
I kind of wish they would just pick one,
right?
You know?
Make it either super scary or just like, or not super scary, but like make it a more prolific horror movie, or make it a comedy.
If you had gone either way, I would think I would have liked it more.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not saying that I hated it.
Yeah.
But like, I would have liked it more.
So basically, it would be like, oh, they're constantly having like it could be that one person was writing it to be a horror movie, the other one was making it to be more like a comedy, and they just blurred them together.
But it's not even just the writing. It's also like the cinematography, and like the screenplay, and like the even the costuming and the makeup. Right. I'm gonna say it right now, and you might think this is kind of a weird observation. I think Grace is too pretty. I think she's too attractive.
Well,
it's pretty distracting.
Yeah.
Especially when you put her up right next to Alex.
Right.
Alex just a pasty white dude.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like you see like Grace, and like she has all her makeup on. She's very good looking.
Right.
But it kind of detracts from like what's trying to like go on throughout the whole thing, and like she stays pretty for pretty much the whole time.
Yeah.
Except for like the very, very end.
Right. Where she but she backs into like where they put all the dead people in.
Yeah, and so like I was wondering why they didn't
I think that's when she starts actually getting like messy and everything.
Right.
Like dirty and stuff.
Yeah.
Because like she was originally waiting in the dumbwaiter, and so she goes like, okay, this is kind of dumb, I'm gonna get out of here. And then so she crawls out, and then her dress gets snagged. So, and then especially when like when we mentioned it earlier, when Alex was sitting down with her in like the corridor where all the maids used to get faster through the house and everything, to where he was talking to her and giving her Converse shoes, so she switched her shoes out. And eventually having the realization like, okay, these people aren't fucking around, this isn't a joke. Then she, like, as she was walking, she kept getting snagged on her dress because it's too long, so then she rips it apart, so that way it's a lot more shorter, so to where she can actually walk around normally.
And the other nitpick I have is like in the same vein of like costuming and makeup and all that stuff being kind of like out of place. Aunt Helene, she looks so
she's all purple
to everybody else, even her hair, her makeup. Like, I get it, they're supposed to be like rich people, but like Tony looks normal, the mom looks normal, and then all of a sudden there's just Aunt Helene, and I guess it's supposed to be funny, but it just seems really out of place, I guess. So, because she's supposed to be like the quiet, like sort of angry old lady, you know, but like I was expecting like her to like the way the movie was going to play out. She was going to kill them one by one. Aunt Helene was going to be like the final boss, sort of way. Like when I like found out like, oh, this is how it's going to play out. It's going to be like a where she's going to hide, and then she's going to like learn how to like defend herself, and then like she's going to kill everybody and like escape, you know. But it didn't really play out like that. So
because I do like when the first maid gets shot by Emily. She forgets her gun, and so she goes back into the bedroom, and she goes like looking at herself in the mirror, and like we've all been here before, getting too drunk somewhere at a bar or like at a friend's house or whatever.
Don't lump me in with you. Don't.
You've never actually had this experience?
No.
I'm not talking about like doing drugs or anything. I'm talking about getting too drunk.
I'm a good Christian boy.
Oh, well, that makes one of us. So, like, going and getting drunk, and then you go to the bathroom, and then you look at yourself in the mirror, you're like, all right, gotta pull ourselves together, dude. Like, we got this, whatever. Like talking to yourself in the mirror.
Yeah, okay.
And so she's talking to herself in the mirror, and so like I have this written down so that way I didn't forget it. She goes like, okay, girl, no more fuck ups. You're a winner. So she goes like, and then so she just throws Coke onto her hand and then snorts it, and she goes like, whoa, okay, let's go. So, but yeah, like, and it's funny because she kills 2 of the maids.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious because she kills the first maid with her tiny pistol that she had.
George? Does she look like she's wearing a giant white wedding dress?
And then the second time is with the crossbow because Fitch just goes like, I can't carry this thing around. It's fucking with me. And so she goes like, well, why don't I get another gun? And so then they all start talking about like different guns in the study room, right?
Right.
And it was just like hilarious to me that they're all talking about like, well, why don't we, like, especially Charity, she goes like, why do I have this old piece of shit? Why don't I just use my own gun because I have one in my purse? And then Daniel just looks at her and just goes like, oh, you have a gun? And she goes, yeah, whatever. Like, she just shrugs her shoulders. And Tony just goes like, no, we have to make this traditional. And then he starts arguing, well, why don't we use the cameras because this will make it go a lot faster.
It's like, no.
Because grandfather would have actually used cameras if he actually lived long enough to actually have cameras. And so Aunt Helene just goes like, you have to pick one. It can't be one or the other. You have to pick a struggle. And like
again, this is one of those scenes where it's like they're arguing like they're in like Arrested Development or something.
Right,
like that.
exactly.
Like, that would be funny.
Yeah.
If it weren't like trying to be this like
super serious horror movies
Yeah.
where it's just like they're trying to kill the new addition to the family of the bride.
Again, just pick a tone, please.
Yeah, and then it was the thing where Fitch goes like, hey, why don't you have my crossbow? And then Emily goes like, okay. And then so she shoots the maid in the mouth.
Oh my god.
Mr. Ladomas, I just saw her run.
Oh my god!
And then Aunt Helene is like trying to say something, and so she kept gurgling as she was dying, and she did that twice, and she goes like, all right, fuck it. So she comes over with her axe, cuts off her head, and then she goes like, okay, we have to fucking make up a plan for this shit.
Yeah.
So that's when that whole discussion of pick or struggle.
Yeah, right.
Do you want to do it more modern, or do you want to do it the traditional way? Because you have to pick a struggle. and the fact that Daniel also said like, well, at least we're not having to wear those stupid masks.
You're right.
Tony's like, Tony just has a funny line, just going like, well, it was Dad's idea and it was in the 80s, so I thought that was pretty funny. But also, the third maid dies because of the dumbwaiter.
Yep.
She's hiding out in the dumbwaiter. Grace goes like, oh, like you can come out. They're trying to find me, not you. So, because even she goes like, oh yeah, like so-and-so just liked how I danced, and that's why I'm here. And so she goes like, no, it's fine. They're not looking for you. They're looking for me. And she just goes like, hey, she's over here. Yeah. And immediately gets crushed because she accidentally hits the button for the dumbwaiter. Other than the whole family, there's only like an actual, like 4 deaths that specifically happened. Mm-hmm. It's the 3 maids that we've already mentioned and how they died, and the servant. Well, technically there's 5 because he dies from the car crash. So
oh yeah, right.
Because Grace actually gets out of the house because Alex actually managed to get into the control room and open up all the doors and windows.
Right.
And because like they're all locked down.
And she's running to the front gate.
Yeah, she runs through she manages to break off a piece that was already broken on the gate to get through.
This was painful to watch.
At the same time, her back is getting scratched.
Yeah, dude.
From one of the little whatever from the gate. So, and the fact that it's just slowly, and you see her skin ripping open too. That is like,
and again, why is this in here? Like, this would have been great if it was if it was a horror movie, like a straight horror movie. That would have added some tension and and discomfort to
Yeah,
the
because
audience.
there's a car driving on the road, and
And
so
then
she's trying to get out of the
she
gate.
gets out.
And then she goes like, "Hey, help
Help
me,
me.
help me!" And then the guy goes like, "Get on the fucking road." And so I was written down so that I didn't
What was
forget it
wrong?
because I thought it was funny.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, she goes like, "You piece of shit, little tiny dick licker, fucking asshole." And then Grace, she came in here to like actually go to sleep.
people.
She goes like, "Hey, she talks like me. Like my name is also Grace, and I talk like that too sometimes." So also, I also wanted to mention that like me and her went to go see this in theaters.
Yeah.
And she didn't know that the main character's name was Grace, and I neglected to remember, or I just didn't remember at all. But it was just really funny because the whole time they were saying Grace, she goes like, "Oh my god, like really?"
Yeah.
Like you gotta make the main character's name Grace, and especially around this time when the waiter is trying to find her, and
he's
so
he's humming like Tchaikovsky.
yeah,
That was a
and so
interesting
like
touch.
he's trying to look for her, and he goes like, "Grace, Grace," and so she goes like, "Oh, please stop!" Like holding her
Yeah.
hands on her ears, like it was funny. But yeah, I just think it was great that happened. So
And then like she manages to get the car from the servant Robert is his name, right?
what was it? Stevens.
Stevens.
Yeah,
Okay.
because like because he finds her, and like basically knocks her out, takes her into the car. No. It's the fact that no, I'm right. Yeah. So he knocks her out, puts her in the car, and he's driving back up to the main house. And so he's on FaceTime with the family, and he goes like, "Hey, I got her." Coming back up with her to the house. They're like, "Okay, great, awesome." And he goes like, "Hey, I also saw that she broke the gate. I'll fix that in the morning, and everything." And then they notice that she gets up, like she becomes awake.
Yeah.
And she starts kicking the shit out of him in the face. And that's what makes him crash, and that's how he dies.
No, you missed even before that. OnStar.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because like she gets the
steals
car. Yeah, she steals the car. She calls for help. They go like, "Oh, sorry, like it's reported stolen,
This
so I have
car's
to
in
shut
a-
down the car."
Shut down the car.
And then
Call
she
the
goes
police.
like, "You fucking asshole!" Like,
"Call the police, Justin.
yeah,
Call the cops."
yeah. And so she goes,
There's
she
no
goes
need
like,
for profanity.
Yeah, there's no need for. What's your profanity?
What's your profanity?
So then
That's
she goes
when
like,
Steven
"Okay,
comes back.
yeah," and then finds her in the car and then knocks her out that way.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and then like when she's kicking the shit out of him while he's driving, they're like, "Ooh," like watching this whole thing unfold, and then they crash the car and then they lose connection.
Yeah.
But then Daniel finds her, and he goes like, because before this whole thing, right? She's in the barn.
Yeah.
Because now she's outside, and now she's trying to find a new place to hide outside. Well, she goes into the barn. Georgie is there, like Emily and Fitch's kid,
Yeah, one
the
of the two
oldest
sons,
kid.
yeah.
And she goes like, "Oh my God, Georgie, like, what are you doing out here? Like, it's not safe," and blah 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 and whatever. Holds up her gun that she had because she
Yeah.
misplaced it, and shoots her in the hand.
In the hand.
And she goes like, "You little fucker!" Punches him right
Punches
in the
that
eye.
kid in the
and knocks him out. I'm like, yes,
blasted
fuck
him,
that kid,
blasted
dude.
him in his head, and then
that's the reason why that she goes down and she winds up in the
goat
dead
pit.
people. Yeah. So, which is
and then
great.
climbing out like, oh my God,
right.
I don't want to describe it. It's
But
makes you very uncomfortable.
yeah, but then like the next death that we have is the mom.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember what the reasoning for it was. Oh, they were just fighting. That's all that
Yeah.
it was. Duh. I'm stupid. But
And
yeah,
then
so
she smashes her head in with the box.
Yeah, that they use
Yeah.
to do the game with. But yeah, so like that was the thing, and then this is when Alex flips, right? Because
Yeah.
they're all fighting each other. And, no, it was the
Alex
first
has
time.
been tied
No,
up
it was the first time that they're going to sacrifice her on the altar table.
Yeah.
And so they're about ready to like kill her, but then like something happens to where she gets free.
Daniel gives them all hydrochloric acid.
Yeah, that's what it was. So yeah, he gives them all acid, so then they all start spitting up blood. So then she gets away, and then that's what ensues them all to like fight with her. And Charity is trying to shoot at her, but then ends up shooting Daniel in the neck.
Yeah.
So that he bleeds out. Alex finally gets free from being handcuffed to the bed, and
Which is
he
stupid
runs
because
out.
he was just sawing back and forth with the handcuffs, and
Which
like,
I don't
that's-
believe that would have happened.
That's not how it works.
No. And so he runs out, Daniel's dying, and that's when everything flips for him.
Yeah.
Because then also seeing his mom dead, because even though he said, oh, if you guys actually kill her, I will kill you.
I'll kill you. And it's like, well, now I can't kill her anymore, so
Right.
I guess I'll just
Because
turn
the
to
whole
the dark
thing,
side.
the whole thing about this too is that like, if they don't kill her by dawn, something bad is going to happen.
And we don't know.
They
what
don't
it
know
is.
what it is up until
And
like
we don't
the very
know what
end.
it is until the very end as well.
Right. So then they go through this whole shebang of trying to find her and kill her and everything. And this is when Alex, when he sees his mom dead on the ground, that like, hey, like, you know, grabs her, says, hey, she's in here. I've got her, blah, blah, blah. So now he flips because I think Daniel was the only one holding him back from actually being a part of the family.
Yeah.
Because Aunt Helene was talking to her brother, Tony, of going like, he needs to get with the program. You're making him out to be more like a baby because once he realizes like I did, then he will be a part of the family. Because he has not been a part of this family this whole time. But once he actually wakes up and realizes that what he needs to do is actually the right thing to do, then he's actually going to be a part of the family again. And so this is him having the turning point of betraying her and stuff.
Yeah.
So then this second time they try to do it again, and then this time they actually yell Hell Satan at the end of it, and he misses because she moves, stabs her in the shoulder, and also her scream that she does throughout the course of this movie is like the most unique scream that I've ever heard out of any of the badass horror chicks that always come into the movies.
Yeah.
So, like, you've got Sigourney Weaver, who in Aliens, who becomes like the badass chick that just goes like, get away from her, you bitch, and all this bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And then like you've also got her. No, it's what's her name? She was in Freaky Friday. She was in the first Halloween movies. She was in True Lies. Drawing a blank on her name right now. God. What is her name? Hold on. Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis, man.
Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis. She was a Scream Queen because of the Halloween movies. And her mom was actually the first Scream Queen. If I remember correctly, she was the first. Because she was in Psycho. So, the old black and white I was going to say John Hancock. Hitchcock movie. Alfred Hitchcock movie. Her scream is just so unique, and it's great to me. Because, like, it kind of seems like that she's, like, and fluctuating her voice and stuff when she's screaming. So, I don't know. But yeah, she screams throughout the course of this movie of that specific scream. And so she takes the knife and like holding them back with it. And then Aunt Helene just goes like, oh my God, it's dawn. And they all like cower in fear. It makes it seem like that they're vampires too, because they cower in fear because of the sunlight.
Right.
And then Fitch just goes like, nothing's happening. And then I'm just like, oh fuck, like they basically just did this thinking that something bad was going to happen and nothing happened.
I kind of wish nothing happened.
Right. And then like they're all
just be
discussing
like-
about it, and then Fitch even goes like, but what do we do with her? And then it gets serious for a moment, and then they all start to like go towards her, and then Aunt Helene goes like, fuck it, I don't care. Like starts talking to the chair, because that's supposed to be like, oh,
Mr. LaBelle, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. LaBelle is supposed to be. So she goes like, I don't give a fuck, like, if it's a ceremony or not. Like, I'm going to kill her, and starts to charge at her with the axe, and then she explodes.
The girl still dies!
And then one by one, they all explode.
I don't know. I don't think she's the first one to explode.
No, she is.
I think Fitch is the first one to explode.
No,
because
Fitch is after
like,
her.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure she was like begging not to like be killed after the first person explodes, or something like that, and then she explodes.
Aunt Helene?
No.
No.
Oh no! Aunt Helene first explodes. It's Charity who begs for her life.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Is that what you said?
No, Aunt Helene is the first one to explode.
Yes. And
then Fitch, and then it's Charity.
Yeah, but Charity's like is Aunt Helene telling off Mr. LaBelle, or is it
Yeah,
Charity who is?
No, it's
Okay.
It's Aunt Helene that's
Like
going
I s-
off on her,
Yeah.
off on him, on his ghost, and like I said,
They
she
just-
goes like, I don't care if it's supposed to be ceremonial or not, like I'm gonna kill her even if it's after dawn, and so she goes to charge at her, and
Rah!
so she explodes.
Yeah.
And
Which-
then
the
they all look at
explosion-
each other and they're like, oh shit, I guess it actually is real that this is a curse. And then Fitch dies, and then Charity dies, and then Emily freaks out because
And
her two kids are there.
And she tries to push him out of the room.
Yeah,
and
she
they-
tries
they
to go out of the
explode off
room, and
screen.
then they explode, so then you see the blood spurt out towards the room, and then Tony dies.
Yeah.
And then Alex is the last one, and he goes like, baby, no, like, let's stay together,
And then she
all
says,
this
"I
bunch of
want a
stuff.
divorce."
Yeah, and so she goes like, you make me a better person, blah blah blah, whatever. And you go, ha ha, hee hee, and like, this is all just a prank, like it's a joke, whatever. And so she goes like, I want a divorce, throws the ring at him, and then he explodes.
Also, wouldn't it have just been better to ask for an annulment than a
Right.
divorce?
Well, I think it's too better, like the fact that he's no longer tied to her, because it's argumentative on whether or not that he was actually going to explode or not, because since they were both married, I don't know if he would have exploded or not.
Oh.
So that was the thing.
I don't know.
Right? So I have no idea.
But
So-
they're all dead basically now.
Yeah, and then like she walks out of the house. The house is also on fire.
Yeah, she
because
set it on
somebody
fire.
knocks. Yeah, because she knocks over a torch.
Oh, yeah,
no, no, it
during-
wasn't the torch. It was the fact that she had a lantern, and either
Yeah.
they threw it or it got knocked over or something like that.
And during the course of when they're all exploding, the phonograph is playing again the music from the beginning.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
of hide
like,
and seek.
But it's all like warped and
Yeah, because of the fire and stuff.
Yeah,
so it
so-
makes it even more creepy and eerie. But then she walks outside. The police finally show up and everything, and then they're like, "Oh my god, like, are you okay? What happened?" She goes like, "In-laws."
in-laws, and the movie ends.
Yeah, and then that's the end of Ready or Not. So, not too bad. I completely forgot last week because we didn't do this. So now we'll get on to a consensus of this being a rent, buy, or skip. So
Did we not say we didn't
No.
give our rating for the last movie?
we gave our rating, but we didn't say specifically if it was a rent, buy, or skip.
Oh.
So I didn't do my whole spiel of it being a rent, buy, or skip. So
Oh,
we
I
just
see.
went like, all right, let's just get into it, and then we both said that it was a buy.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
and that was for Planes, Trains, and Automobiles last week. So go and check that out. It's a great time. It's a great movie. So with that being said, let's see if this is rent, buy, or skip. Rent is just an occasional watch. I'll watch it every so often if it's on streaming or something. Buy is, of course, I love this movie so much. I'm going to go out to my local video store. I'm going to go out and buy it. And then skip is just a piece of dog shit movie. I hate this movie. Don't recommend. So
I'll let you go first.
okay, I was going to say I'll just make mine short, but you can.
No,
go
I'll go
first.
first. I was really gonna give this a skip because I was like the tonal dissonance kind of like
Yeah.
was a little
It
bit.
wasn't
put
your
out.
vibe.
Yeah, but like as we're talking
Like
about
Aunt
it,
Helene said, pick a struggle.
yeah, as we're talking about this, I kind of there are things I actually like in this movie. Like there are some funny bits in here, and then there are parts of like
Where
that
it's
are
actual horror.
generally unsettling.
Yeah.
And it would have been, again, like I said, I've been saying like this a couple times, it would have been great if they just picked one or the other. But I'm going to give it like a low rent.
I mean, it's alright, like...
Right.
Like I can't give it a skip.
Mm-hmm. Like if you're in the
because I
mood
said,
for
like,
it, then
there
sure,
were,
I'll
like-
turn it on.
Like it was fine. It was like if I ever see it again, like okay, sure, maybe I'll watch it again.
Or like somebody suggests, hey, let's watch Ready or Not. It's
I
like,
don't
oh,
wa-
okay.
But I don't want to say that I'll never want to watch this movie again, right?
Yeah.
Especially if I get the hankering, like oh, someone wants to watch Ready or Not 2. It's like, oh, sure, fine, I'll watch Ready or Not 1 again. So like,
Right.
But like they're like the bits were funny.
Mhm.
Like dark comedy were like pretty good. Like, and for this movie only had like a $6 million budget.
Right.
And they made it back like almost 10 times over at the box office.
Yep.
So
It's not surprising.
I mean, so I can't really say that this movie is a skip for me like I originally was going to say. So I'm going to say it's a low rent.
Okay. For me, I would also say that it's a rent.
I mean, it's alright, like...
Because like I haven't seen this since it came out in theaters.
Mhm.
So
Watching it at home on the couch was like a little different.
Well, watch it in here, yeah.
Well,
a little bit.
You know what I mean.
Well, yeah. Like, watching it at home was definitely a different experience than locking the fuck in at the movie theater.
Yeah.
To where you can't get up and leave because otherwise you're going to miss something. Versus, at home, you just pause it, walk away, go to the bathroom, eat something, take out the dog, whatever, and then come back and it's like, okay, like, we'll continue. So, but yeah, I just feel like it's a rent. It's a good movie. Don't get me wrong. It's not a bad movie by any stretch.
Yeah, I felt like that
I
too.
enjoyed this movie because of it has comedic elements. It's also a horror movie, so like it has that whole tie between everything. Like the whole thing of going like, oh, like she could be anywhere in this house, and all of a sudden she walks through, and she goes like, oh yeah, there she is. So found her. And all that bunch of stuff. And then also Aunt Helene crashing out the whole time was going like, yeah, we gotta fucking find her because like we're all gonna die otherwise and whatever. So, but none of them realize what's gonna happen, and they all explode. So, but yeah, and like again, watch this in theaters. It was fine. I thought it was okay, and now I gotta watch the second one because it's got Elijah Wood in it.
Really?
It's got and do you know the premise of the second one at least or no?
What is it?
So the premise is that like she comes back, right? There's another family that grabs her, right? And so they go like, oh, like you may have taken out this family, but now the rest of the family wants revenge or something like that.
Like
and Elijah Wood is like a benefactor type guy. So they kidnap her sister in this one. So now she has to, and it's basically kind of like a, what was the book where, the Deadliest Game.
Yeah.
To where she runs out and they have to try to find her. So it's basically hide and seek all over again, but this time it's a way bigger playing field to where she's out like on the wilderness and stuff like that.
Wow.
So,
Yeah,
and
the most
again,
dangerous game.
big house, rich people trying to do shit, right?
Yeah.
So it's that whole gimmick again. But this time she's got her sister.
Okay.
So, which is the reason why, and I love whenever movie sequels do this. It's like Ready or Not, and it's called like 2, Here I Come, like kind of like Now You See Me, where they where the third one they did it is like Now You Don't, and it's like you could have done that for the second one. Why didn't you do it for the second one? It was just Now You See Me 2.
They wanted to make 3.
I don't know if it was that. I think they just went like, what? People really like this franchise. Let's make a third one.
I still have to watch the third one for
Same.
Or not, so
same. But yeah, so like I just think this movie's fine.
Yeah,
it's okay.
It was fine.
It's all right for it to every so often. So, but let's move on to suggested people here, and see what other people have to say. So we'll go into IMDb, look up a 1-10, sometimes both star review, see what other people have to say about the movie specifically.
Let's do it both stars.
So
both said it was a rent.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I have them both pulled up.
Okay.
So they're pretty small. So, but like across the board, everybody pretty much gave it like an 8 out of 10.
That's what I've been seeing. Like it generally got pretty good reviews.
It's not like a smash hit to where everybody loves it and like not a lot of people not enjoy it, but for what I saw on IMDb, not a lot of people said that they didn't like it, and not a lot of people said that they absolutely loved this movie.
Right.
But it's a lot of it is 8, but it's like 7, 8, and 9 range.
Okay.
So, but this one is a 1-star review. They said the stupidest, lamest, most illogical movie ever. To me, that was not even funny or entertaining. It was just written, directed, and acted from amateurs, or at least this is how it felt. I cannot believe I watched it to the end, so I saw the lamest, horrible ending.
Very descriptive. Very, very in depth on what you thought was not good about it.
Right. All of this was bad. That's it. It was just bad. It's a bad movie.
You want to elaborate?
Right.
Nope.
No, it's just bad.
Nope. Okay.
Just bad.
All right.
Well, the acting was bad, subpar. It was amateur hour.
Amateur hour
at the Apollo.
I'll agree with that. Like this cast was like, who are these people?
Right, exactly. I think this is also like one of her first movies that she did. This is by far what put her on the map. I feel like.
Yeah.
Because she's been in other stuff. I just don't know for sure.
I don't know.
So, but now we'll move on to a 10-star review. Somebody out there said this is my favorite movie ever. I love it. It's great.
Okay.
It's supposed to be fun. If you didn't have fun watching this movie, then you're looking at it the wrong way. complete opposite of what the guy was
Yeah.
saying. The lamest, stupidest movie I ever seen. This is the best, like, funnest movie I've ever seen.
You're just going through the wrong mindset, bro.
Yeah. Fortify your mind. From fucking wow, mom.
Fortify your mind.
Yeah. It's supposed to be silly. For horror, thriller, B-movie fans, this was a gold mine. I will agree. Like, this was a gold mine for B fans.
I guess.
B film fans. The concept was refreshing, which I would also have to agree. How often do you see a child's game getting turned into a horror movie? You know?
Well, I mean, Happy Death Day kind of like has that same vibe of like.
No, that's just birthday.
Yeah, but like
that's a generic thing that happens.
Associate birthdays with like children, you know.
Well, yeah, but that also didn't have to deal with children either.
I guess.
So.
What was it? The Bye Bye Man.
Yeah, the Bye Bye Man. I always think of it as like the Bye Bye Man.
It's a childish like title for a movie.
And then if you're not smiling at the end of the movie, then this genre isn't for you. So again, a complete tonal shift from what we just talked about with the last review.
Here's the problem with that: like, the whole movie's not fun. It's not like a satirical.
It's not fun.
romp.
It's not campy. It's
Like-
got comedic elements,
Like,
but
you
that's
can't-
not it.
You can't honestly say that like the whole movie was funny and the whole movie was a delight to watch, because like if the scene where she's crawling out of the goat pit, and when she's trying to get through the fence,
it's horrific.
and like that's again, it's like if it's why'd you have to have all these things kind of like mashed together, you know?
Yeah.
Pick one or the other.
Again, I feel like that somebody was working on a horror movie, somebody else was working on a comedy, and they just merged them together.
Yeah.
So
they wanted to have it both ways.
Yeah. And unfortunately, this isn't Burger King. You can't have it your way.
But yeah, it was fine.
So.
Do you have anything else to talk about this movie?
No, I think I'm all good. We'll call this an episode, and then next week we'll be back with something else, which I don't remember what it was.
Well, look at your list, my guy.
Yeah, because I have a list of all the movies that we're going to talk about.
That was all you, my guy. It was Click, right?
Yeah, it was Click.
Yeah.
Click is coming out with the 4K re-release.
Okay.
Well, it's being re-released on 4K, I should say. So, which we can talk about Click. We can talk about something else. Yeah.
How did I get you in 4K?
Yeah, got you in 4K. So we can talk about Click, or we can talk about something else. It doesn't matter. So
Click's
I'm
fine.
I'm open to suggestions. So, but I do enjoy Click. So, but with that
Adam
being
Sandler joint.
Yeah, but with that being said, again, thank you everybody so much for catching up with us, and again, be sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, share this around with other people that enjoy this type of thing, and again, we'll see you guys next week. So, bye.